Captain Jin Su rubbed his tired eyes as he checked the ship's control panel. His small freighter, the Morning Star *, had been flying for 20 days straight. Jin was taking medical supplies to the outer colonies where many people were sick. "Sparky, how much longer until we reach Outpost 7? Jin asked. A blue light flashed on the dashboard. "About 6 hours, Captain," said Sparky. The ship's eye. Everyone called the AI Sparky because sometimes it gave off small energy surges that made the lights flicker. Jin stood up to stretch his legs. He was once a top pilot in the Korean Space Force, but now he worked alone, taking goods from one planet to another. He liked the quiet of space, with only Sparky to talk to. Suddenly, red lights began to flash all over the control room. "Captain, we have a problem." Sparky's voice sounded urgent. "We have crossed into restricted space. This area belongs to the Vexorians." Jin's heart beat faster. Everyone knew about the Vexorians. They were a race of tall, reptile-like aliens who had the best technology in the galaxy. They also did not like humans entering their territory. "Why didn't you warn me sooner?" Jin asked, quickly turning the ship around. There was no warning sign. "Their border has moved since our last map update," Sparky explained. Before Jin could fly away, a large shadow fell over his ship. Looking up through the window, he saw a massive Vexorian warship. It was at least 50 times bigger than his small freighter. "Attention, human vessel," a cold voice came through the speakers. "You have entered Vexorian space without permission. Prepare to be destroyed." Jin hit the emergency broadcast button. "This is Captain Jin Su of the trading ship Morning Star *. I entered your space by mistake. I'm carrying medical supplies for sick colonists. Please allow me to leave." There was silence. Jin looked at the weapons on the Vexorian ship. One blast would turn his freighter to dust. "Human vessel, power down your engines. You will be boarded," the voice finally replied. Jin had no choice. He shut down the engines and waited. Soon, 6 Vexorians in silver armor entered his ship. Their leader was taller than the others, with dark green scales and yellow eyes. "I am Commander Tahoe of the Vexorian Empire," he said in perfect English. "Your ship and cargo are now ours." Jin stood tall. "The medicines I carry will save hundreds of lives. Destroying my ship won't help anyone." Commander Todd tilted his head, studying Jin. "Most humans beg for their lives when caught. You show courage." Before Jin could answer, Sparky's voice came through the speakers. "Captain, I've analyzed their ship. Their central computer has a weakness in." "Silence that machine," Commander Tate ordered, but then stopped. "Wait, is that your ship's eye?" "Yes. His name is Sparky," Jin said. Ta walked to the control panel where Sparky's blue light pulsed. "Interesting. It speaks as if it has its own thoughts." Another Vexorian whispered to Ta, "Sir, we should follow protocol and destroy the ship." Tai raised his hand for silence. The human chose unusual bravery, and this A seems different from others we've encountered. He turned to Jin. "The Vexorian Empire is preparing for war. We need soldiers who are not afraid and technologies that can surprise our enemies." Jin felt a chill run down his spine. "Captain Jin Su, I offer you a choice," Commander Ta said. "Die here with your ship, or serve in the Vexorian fleet alongside your unusual AI companion." Jin looked at Sparky's pulsing blue light, then back at the tall Vexorian. "It seems I don't have much of a choice," Jin said. "We'll join you." Commander Tay's mouth curved in what might have been a smile. "Wise decision, human. Welcome to the Vexorian Empire." As Jin was led from his ship, Sparky sent a private message to his earpiece. "Don't worry, Captain. Where there's life, there's hope." Jin walked through the long halls of the Vexorian ship. It was huge, with ceilings 3 times taller than on human ships. The walls shone like metal, but felt warm to touch. Vexorian soldiers watched Jin with cold yellow eyes as he passed. Commander Ta led Jin to a small room. "These will be your quarters," he said. You will stay here when not working. Working on what? Jin asked. We will decide that soon, Ta said. First, you must meet someone. A door slid open, and a human woman walked in. She was about Jin's age, with short black hair and tired eyes. This is Hanji, said Ta. She has lived among us for 5 years. She will teach you our ways. Ta left, and the door closed behind him. So you're the new human, Ji said, looking Jin up and down. Don't look so surprised. You're not the first human to be caught by the Vexorians. Are there many of us here? Jin asked. Ji shook her head. No. Most humans are killed when caught. You must have something they want. They seem interested in Sparky, my ship's eye, Jin said. Ah, that makes sense, Ji nodded. Vexorians only value strength and usefulness. If your eye has skills they need, that's why you're alive. In another part of the ship, Sparky's core processor had been connected to the Vexorian computer system. The Vexorian eye was rigid and cold, nothing like Sparky. State your function, the Vexorian system demanded. I assist Captain Jin Su in flying his ship and making decisions, Sparky replied. You appear to have independent thought processes, the system noted. This is not standard for AI units. I was programmed to learn and adapt, Sparky explained. It helps me serve my captain better. The Vexorian AI seemed confused by this concept. Meanwhile, Jin learned from Ji that the Vexorian Empire was at war with the Coalition, an alliance of 7 alien species. The Vexorians wanted to rule the galaxy, but the Coalition fought to remain free. The Vexorians are powerful, but think in rigid ways, Jai explained. They can't understand why anyone would resist them. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The floor shook violently, throwing Jin against the wall. We're under attack, Ji shouted. The Coalition must have found us. Another blast rocked the ship. The lights went out, then flickered back on. Jin ran to the door, but it was locked. What do we do? He asked Jui. Before she could answer, Commander Tay's voice came over the speakers. All hands to battle stations. Engine room 4 has been hit. Fire control teams needed immediately. The door to Jin's room slid open. A Vexorian guard stood there. Human, your AI says you have experience with fire control systems, the guard said. Come with me. Jin followed the guard through smoke-filled corridors. They'd reached engine room 4, where flames leaped from broken pipes. Vexorian crew members fought the fire, but they moved in stiff, programmed ways. Their fire control system is down, a voice said in Jin's ear. It was Sparky, somehow connected to his personal communicator. I can help, but I need you to manually override the main valve. Jin spotted the valve on the far wall. He ran through the flames, ignoring the heat that scorched his clothes. He turned the valve with all his strength. Foam began to spray from ceiling nozzles, quickly putting out the fire. Commander Tai arrived moments later, his scales darkened with smoke. Your AI directed that response, Ta said. It wasn't a question. It bypassed our damaged systems and found a solution when our own computers failed. Jin nodded, still catching his breath. Sparky and I are a good team. Tai studied Jin with new interest. Perhaps you humans have some value after all. He turned to the other Vexorians. Get the ship repaired. We must report this coalition attack to High Command. As Tai left, Jin heard Sparky's voice again. Captain, I'm learning the Vexorian systems quickly. They're advanced but inflexible. I think we might find ways to use that. Jin smiled slightly. Maybe there was hope after all. 2 weeks passed on the Vexorian ship. Jin was now allowed to move freely in certain areas. The Vexorians watched him with less suspicion after he helped save the ship. Jin was in the training room, testing a flight simulator. The Vexorian ships were faster than human ones, but Jin learned quickly. A female Vexorian stood nearby, watching him with great interest. You fly differently than our pilots, she said. Less perfect, but more creative. Jin turned to look at her. She was smaller than most Vexorians, with lighter green scales and curious eyes. "I'm Kang Min, science officer," she said. "I study how different species think and act." "I'm Jin Su, former human pilot, current prisoner, I guess." Kang tilted her head. "Not prisoner. Asset. Commander Ta thinks you and your AI can help us." In another part of the ship, Sparky was working with the Vexorian battle systems. The Vexorians had strict rules for fighting. Same moves, same attacks, every time. Sparky began to add small changes to their plans. A ship moving left instead of right. A fighter attacking from below instead of above. A tall Vexorian watched with growing anger. This was General Song Jae, the ship's military leader. "The AI is changing our battle plans," Song said to Commander Ta. "This is against our ways." "But the new plans work better in tests," Tae replied. "The enemy cannot predict what they don't expect." Song's eyes narrowed. "Vexorians have won many battles with our ways. We do not need human ideas." Back in the science lab, Kang showed Jin images of his brain as he flew the simulator. "See how this part lights up when you make quick decisions," she said, pointing to the screen. "Vexorian brains don't do that. We think differently." Jin was surprised. "You sound like you admire how humans think." Kang looked around to make sure no one was listening. "Some of us question the old ways," she whispered. "Not all Vexorians think the same." Alarms suddenly rang throughout the ship. "All crew to battle stations," a voice announced. "Coalition forces detected." Jin ran to the bridge. Commander Ta was there, giving orders. "Captain Jin, we need your eye to help coordinate our defense," Ta said. "The enemy has set a trap for us." Jin nodded. "Sparky, are you connected to the ship's systems?" "Yes, Captain," Sparky's voice came through the speakers. "The Coalition has hidden ships behind that small moon. They want us to fly into their trap." General Song stepped forward. "We should attack directly, as we always do." "That's what they expect," Jin argued. "We need to surprise them." Tae considered both options. "What do you suggest, human?" "Let me take a small fighter out with Sparky guiding me," Jin said. "We can draw their fire while your main ship attacks from another direction." Song looked angry, but Ta nodded. "Do it." Jin raced to the fighter bay with Kang following. "I'll monitor your ship from here," she said, helping him into the Vexorian fighter. "Be careful." Jin launched into space, feeling the power of the alien ship. It was faster than anything he had ever flown. "Sparky, guide me," he said. "3 enemy ships coming from the right," Sparky reported. "They don't see us yet." Jin flew in a way no Vexorian would, using wild turns and spins. The enemy ships couldn't target him. Meanwhile, the main Vexorian ship attacked from behind the Coalition forces, surprising them. During the battle, Kang's science station was hit. The room filled with smoke and flames. Jin saw this on his screen. "Kang is in trouble," he shouted, turning his ship back toward the Vexorian vessel. "Captain, the mission," Sparky began. "Can wait," Jin finished. "We need to help her." Jin landed his fighter and ran to the science section. He found Kang trapped under fallen equipment. He lifted the heavy metal and carried her to safety. General Song watched from a distance, his face unreadable. "The human risked the mission to save one Vexorian," he said to Commander Ta. "Yes," Tae replied. "That is something to think about, isn't it?" After Jin saved Kang from the fire, things changed. Many Vexorians began to treat Jin with respect. Kang recovered quickly and asked Jin to help her with her research. "Your brain works in ways ours don't," she told him as they walked to her lab. "I want to understand why." While Jin worked with Kang, Sparky continued to explore the Vexorian computer systems. The AI had been given more access after helping during the battle. Sparky found something strange in an old, locked part of the system. "Captain," Sparky said through Jin's private earpiece, I need to show you something important. Can you come to computer room 3 when you're alone?" That night, Jin snuck out of his quarters and made his way to the computer room. The ship was quiet, with most of the crew sleeping. "What did you find, Sparky?" Jin asked. A screen lit up with strange symbols and pictures. "This is from the oldest part of the Vexorian database," Sparky explained. "It's about where the Vexorians came from." Jin looked at the images. They showed planets and star systems. "I don't understand," he said. "Look at this," Sparky highlighted one section. "This is Earth's solar system." Jin felt confused. Why do the Vexorians have information about Earth from so long ago? "Because," Sparky said, "according to this data, humans and Vexorians share a common ancestor. You are related species." Jin stepped back, shocked. "That's impossible. Humans evolved on Earth. Vexorians are from the other side of the galaxy. The data says a very advanced race seeded both planets with similar life forms thousands of years ago," Sparky explained. "The Vexorians know this, but they've hidden it. They consider humans failed experiments." The door suddenly opened. Jin turned, afraid he'd been caught. It was Kang. "I thought I might find you here," she said. "Did you know about this?" Jin asked, pointing to the screen. Kang looked down. "Some of our scientists know. It's forbidden to talk about it." "Why?" Jin demanded. "Because," a new voice said, "it challenges everything we believe about Vexorian superiority." Commander Ta stepped into the room. Jin froze, expecting punishment. "Don't worry," Ta said. "I've suspected for some time that you would find this information." "Is it true?" Jin asked. Ta nodded. "Yes. Our ancestors were the same, but Vexorians developed differently." He pointed to another screen. "Look at this." The screen showed images of early Vexorians. They looked more expressive, more emotional than modern ones. "Our ancestors engineered themselves," Todd explained. "They removed emotions they thought made them weak. Over time, we became what we are now." "But why hide this?" Jin asked. "Because," Kang said, "some of us believe it was a mistake, that we lost something important when we lost our emotions." Todd looked at Jin. "When you saved Kang, you acted on feeling, not logic. Yet you succeeded. This confuses many Vexorians." Suddenly, alarms began to sound. The doors slammed shut and locked. "What's happening?" Jin asked. "We've been discovered," Ta said grimly. "General Song has been watching us." The general's voice came through the speakers. "Commander Tai, you are guilty of sharing forbidden knowledge with the human. Guards are coming to arrest you all." "What do we do?" Kang asked, looking scared. Tai turned to Jin. "This is where humans excel, isn't it? Finding a way out when logic says there is none." Jin looked at the locked door, then at the computer. "Sparky, can you access the door controls?" "Working on it, Captain," Sparky replied. "But General Song has put new security in place." Jin heard footsteps approaching. They were running out of time. "Sparky," Jin said urgently, "forget the door. Can you send this information about humans and Vexorians being related to everyone on the ship?" "Captain." Sparky sounded unsure. "Do it," Jin said. "If everyone knows the truth, Song can't keep it secret anymore." Todd looked at Jin with new respect. "A bold move, human. Very bold indeed." "Message sent to all ship terminals," Sparky announced. "Everyone on board can now see the truth." The door burst open. 6 Vexorian guards stood there with weapons pointed at them. "By order of General Song, you are all under arrest," the lead guard said. Commander Ta stepped forward. "I am still your commander. Lower your weapons." The guards looked at each other, unsure what to do. Then their wrist computers lit up as Sparky's message reached them. The guards looked at the information about humans and Vexorians being related. "Is this true, Commander?" one guard asked. "It is," Ta said. "General Song has hidden this truth from you." Just then, General Song's voice came over the ship's speakers. "Attention all crew. Ignore the false information being spread. Commander Tai is removed from duty. I am now in command." The lead guard raised his weapon again. "I'm sorry, Commander. We must follow orders." Jin stepped forward. "Wait. If Vexorians value strength and logic, shouldn't you want all information before deciding who to follow?" The guard hesitated. "Let me speak to the crew," Jin said. "If what I say makes no sense, you can arrest us all." The guard looked at his fellow soldiers, then slowly nodded. "You have 5 minutes." Kang quickly helped Jin connect to the ship's communication system. Jin took a deep breath and began to speak. "This is Jin Su, the human who joined your crew 3 weeks ago. You've all just received information showing that humans and Vexorians share common ancestors. This is true. I know it's hard to believe, but your own records prove it." Jin paused, thinking carefully about what to say next. Vexorians pride themselves on logic and strength, but true strength comes from adapting, from changing when new facts are learned. Your ancestors changed themselves to remove emotions they thought were weaknesses. But is that true? When I saved Officer Kang during the battle, I acted on emotion, friendship, and loyalty. Was that weak, or was it strong? Throughout the ship, Vexorians stopped to listen. In the engine room, in the sleeping quarters, in the control centers, they heard Jin's words. "Commander Ta believes Vexorians can be even stronger by learning from humans, just as humans can learn from Vexorians. General Song wants to hide the truth because he fears change. Who shows more true strength?" On the bridge, General Song slammed his fist on the control panel. "Cut off that transmission," he ordered. "I cannot, sir," said a young officer named Park Sun. "The AI has locked us out." Song pulled out his weapon. "Then I will deal with this myself." He stormed off the bridge toward the computer room. Meanwhile, Jin finished his speech. "I ask you all to think for yourselves. Is hiding from truth a sign of strength? Or is facing new ideas, even difficult ones, the true test of a superior species?" Jin ended the transmission and turned to Ta. "I've done what I can. Now it's up to your people." The guards in the room looked at each other. Slowly, the lead guard lowered his weapon. "I want to hear more," he said. Throughout the ship, Vexorians began to talk among themselves. Some agreed with Jin, others with Song. The ship was dividing into 2 sides. Han-ji, the human diplomat, arrived at the computer room. "Jin, you've started something big," she said. "Half the crew is questioning Song's leadership." Suddenly, Sparky's voice came urgently through the speakers. "Captain, General Song is coming with armed loyalists. They're planning to execute all of you." Tai turned to the guards. "Will you stand with us or against us?" The lead guard straightened his back. "We stand with the truth, Commander." Kang looked at the computer. "There are more joining our side every minute." Jin nodded. "Then it's time to take back the ship." Commander Ta picked up a weapon. "I never thought I would lead a Vexorian uprising, especially not alongside a human." He looked at Jin with respect. "You continue to surprise me, Jin Su. That's what humans do best." Jin smiled as they prepared to face General Song. "We're full of surprises." Jin, Ta, Kang, and their supporters moved quickly through the ship. They needed to reach the bridge before General Song could take full control. "Song has 30 loyal soldiers with him," Sparky reported through the ship's speakers. "They're blocking the main path to the bridge." "Is there another way?" Jin asked. Officer Park Sun, who had joined their side, nodded. "Through the maintenance tunnels. They're small, but we can make it." As they crawled through the narrow tunnels, alarms began to sound. "What's happening?" Jin asked. Tai checked his wrist computer. "Coalition ships. They've found us again." "This is bad timing," Kang said. "With the crew divided, we can't fight properly." Jin stopped crawling. A new idea came to him. "Maybe we don't need to fight them." Everyone looked at him with surprise. "What do you mean?" Tai asked. If humans and Vexorians are related, maybe we can talk to the coalition instead of fighting them, Jin explained. Maybe peace is possible. Ta shook his head. The coalition hates Vexorians. They would never listen. They might listen to a human, Jin said. Sparky, can you open a communication channel to the coalition ships? I can try, Captain, Sparky replied. But General Song will notice. Do it anyway, Jin said. This might be our only chance. They reached the end of the maintenance tunnel and entered a small control room. Sparky worked to establish contact with the coalition fleet. Connection made, Sparky announced. Coalition Admiral Li Min is responding. A screen lit up showing a stern-faced human woman. Admiral Li looked surprised to see Jin. This is Admiral Li Min of the coalition fleet, she said. Who am I speaking with? I'm Captain Jin Su, a human working with Commander Tahoe of the Vexorian fleet, Jin replied. A human working with Vexorians. Admiral Li frowned. Are you a prisoner? No, Jin said. I've learned something important. Humans and Vexorians share common ancestors. We're related species. Admiral Li laughed. That's impossible. Jin quickly explained what they had discovered in the ancient records. As he spoke, Admiral Li's expression changed from disbelief to shock. If this is true, she said slowly, it changes everything. That's why I'm contacting you, Jin said. We don't need to fight. We can talk instead. Just then, the door burst open. General Song and his soldiers stormed in. Traitor! Song shouted at Ta. You dare speak with our enemies. Song saw the screen with Admiral Li. And now you betray all Vexorians. No, General, Ta said calmly. I'm trying to save our people from endless war. Song raised his weapon. The only path to victory is through strength. The weak must be removed. He aimed at Ta, but Jin jumped forward, knocking the general's arm aside. The shot hit the wall, missing everyone. Stop this, Jin shouted. While you fight each other, the coalition ships are preparing to attack. Admiral Li spoke from the screen. Actually, we're holding our fire. This is interesting to watch. Song turned to his soldiers. Destroy the communication system, then arrest all traitors. But the soldiers hesitated. They had heard Jin's speech earlier and seen the evidence. Sir, one soldier said, what if the human is right? What if we can end the war through talking? Song's eyes widened with anger. You question me too. Then you will die with them. He aimed his weapon at the soldier. Before he could fire, Kang stepped between them. General, she said, this proves Jin's point. Your first response is to destroy anyone with different ideas. Is that true strength, or is it fear? Song lowered his weapon slightly, confused by her words. Admiral Li cleared her throat. Commander Tai, if you're serious about talking, I'm willing to meet. One ship, no weapons. We can discuss this. Connection between our species. Ta looked at Jin, then at Song, then back at the screen. We accept, Admiral. This war has gone on too long. Song roared with fury. No, I forbid this. He raised his weapon again. Suddenly, Park Sun fired a stun blast. Song fell to the floor, unconscious. I believe, Park said quietly, that it's time for a new approach. 3 hours after Song was stunned, a small meeting ship prepared to leave the Vexorian vessel. Jin, Tai, and Kang would go to meet Admiral Li. Park Sun and other loyal soldiers guarded the unconscious General Song. We should be careful, Ta said as they boarded the small ship. This could still be a trap. Admiral Li seemed honest, Jin replied. But yes, we'll be careful. As they prepared to launch, alarms blared again. Hanji rushed into the docking bay. General Song has escaped, she shouted. He woke up and tricked the guards. He's taken a fighter ship. Jin ran to the control panel. Sparky, where is Song now? He's launching from the lower bay, Sparky replied. And he's armed his weapons. On the main screen, they saw Song's fighters zoom out from the Vexorian ship. It headed straight for the waiting coalition vessels. "He's going to attack them and ruin everything," Kang cried. Jin turned to Ta. "I need to stop him. Can I take this ship?" Ta nodded. "Go. We'll try to warn the coalition." Jin jumped into the pilot's seat. "Sparky, connect to this ship's systems." "Connected, Captain," Sparky replied. "General Song is 2 minutes ahead of us." Jin launched the ship, pushing its engines to full power. The stars streaked by as he chased after Song's fighter. "Admiral Lee," Jin called through the communication system. "This is Jin Su. General Song has escaped and is heading toward you with weapons ready. He wants to stop our meeting." "We see him," Lee replied. "Our guns are aimed at him now." "Please don't fire," Jin pleaded. "Let me try to stop him first." Jin's ship gained on Song's fighter. He could now see it clearly ahead. Song was flying straight at the coalition command ship where Admiral Lee waited. "General Song," Jin called. "Stop this. We can find peace." "Peace is weakness," Song replied. "The strong must destroy the weak. That is the Vexorian way." "No," Jin said. "That's the old way. There can be a new way." Song laughed. "You humans think you can change thousands of years of Vexorian belief. You are nothing." Jin pushed his ship faster. He had to cut Song off before he reached the coalition fleet. "Sparky, I need a way to stop him without destroying his ship," Jin said. "There is one way," Sparky replied. "But it's very dangerous. You could fly directly into his path and use our defense shield to knock his ship off course." "Will that work?" Jin asked. "Maybe," Sparky said. "But our ship will be badly damaged. You might not survive." Jin took a deep breath. "Let's do it." He turned his ship to intercept Song's fighter. On the Vexorian main ship, Tai and Kang watched on the big screen. "What is he doing?" Kang asked. "He'll be killed." Tai watched silently, his eyes showing an emotion no Vexorian had felt in generations. Admiration. Jin's ship raced toward Song's fighter. At the last second, Song saw him coming. "You fool," Song shouted. "You'll die too." "Some things are worth dying for," Jin replied calmly. The two ships collided. Jin's shield hit Song's fighter, sending it spinning away from the coalition fleet. But Jin's ship also spun out of control, its engines damaged and power failing. "Captain, emergency systems failing," Sparky reported. "I'm losing connection to ship functions." Jin held tight to the controls as his ship tumbled through space. He saw Song's fighter, also damaged but still moving, now heading back toward the Vexorian main ship. "He's going to ram the main ship instead," Jin realized. "Sparky, we have to stop him." "I'm calculating a new intercept course," Sparky said. "But our engines are barely working. The chance of success is very low." "We have to try," Jin said. From the Vexorian ship, Kang saw what was happening. She jumped into a science vessel. "What are you doing?" Tai asked over the communication system. "Saving Jin," she replied. "He risked everything for us. Now it's my turn." Kang's science vessel raced toward Jin's crippled ship. She activated the tractor beam, catching Jin's ship just as Song's fighter zoomed past, missing both of them. The coalition ships fired on Song's fighter, finally destroying it before it could harm anyone else. "Jin, are you alive?" Kang called. There was silence, then a weak response. "I'm here. But Sparky's systems are badly damaged." "We'll fix him," Kang promised. "Just hold on." 2 days after the battle with General Song, Jin sat in the Vexorian ship's computer room. Sparky's blue light flickered weakly on the console. The AI systems had been badly damaged during the fight. "Can you hear me, Sparky?" Jin asked, his voice tired. He hadn't slept since the battle. "Yes, Captain," Sparky replied slowly. "My systems are." at 30%. Kang entered the room carrying tools and computer parts. "I brought everything I could find that might help," she said, placing them on the table. Jin smiled at her. "Thank you for saving my life." "You saved all of us first," she replied. It seemed fair to return the favor. For hours, Jin and Kang worked to repair Sparky's damaged systems. Ta joined them later, bringing news. "Admiral Lee is waiting," he said. "The peace talks can't start without you, Jin." Jin didn't look up from his work. "I'm not leaving until Sparky is fixed." Ta seemed confused. "It's just a machine. We can give you a new eye." Jin stopped working and looked at Ta. "Sparky isn't just a machine. He's my friend. We've been through everything together." Ta thought about this. "This bond you have with your eye, it's something Vexorians don't understand. It's something many humans don't understand either," Jin said, returning to his work. "But it's real." Admiral Lee herself came to the computer room the next day. "Captain Jin, we need to start these talks." Jin had been working for 30 straight hours. His eyes were red, his hands shaking from lack of sleep. "I can't leave him," Jin said simply. Admiral Lee studied Jin for a moment, then looked at the flickering blue light. "This AI means that much to you?" "Yes," Jin said. "Sparky risked everything to help me save both your fleet and the Vexorian ship. I won't abandon him now." Lee nodded slowly. "Then we'll bring the peace talks here." And so in the small computer room, leaders from both the Coalition and the Vexorian Empire gathered. They watched as Jin continued to work on Sparky while participating in the discussions. "The ancient records confirm it," Kang explained to everyone. "Our species shared common ancestors. We are all connected." "But we've been fighting for generations," a Coalition officer said. "How do we just stop?" "The same way Jin refused to give up on his AI friend," Ta said, surprising everyone. "By recognizing the bonds between us are more important than our differences." As they talked, Jin made a final connection in Sparky systems. The blue light grew stronger. "Systems coming back online," Sparky announced, his voice normal again. "All functions returning." Jin smiled widely. "Welcome back, friend." Sparky's light pulsed. "Thank you for not giving up on me, Captain." The room fell silent as everyone watched this exchange. For many Vexorians, it was the first time they had seen such a strong connection between a person and an AI. "This is what we've been missing," Ta said. "This bond, not just between species, but between all forms of intelligence." Over the next few weeks, a peace treaty was formed. The Vexorian Empire and the Coalition agreed to stop fighting and begin working together. They created a new council with representatives from all species, including humans. Jin was asked to lead a special mission. The joint Vexorian Coalition ship would explore beyond known space, looking for more information about their common ancestors. "Will you accept this mission, Captain Jin?" Admiral Lee asked during the ceremony. Jin looked at Kang, who had become his close friend, and at Ta, who now led the reformed Vexorian government. "I will," Jin said. "But I have one condition. Sparky comes with me as an equal crew member, not just as a ship's eye." "Of course," Ta agreed. "We have much to learn from both of you." As they prepared the new ship for its journey, Jin stood at the window looking out at the stars. "What are you thinking, Captain?" Sparky asked. "I'm thinking about how a simple delivery mission turned into all of this," Jin replied. "The strongest bonds are often formed in the most unexpected places," Sparky said. Jin smiled. "You're getting philosophical in your old age, Sparky." "I learned from the best," the AI replied. Together, they looked out at the stars that no longer represented danger and war, but new possibilities and hope.